Hello, everyone. It is Joe and Darren over at Urban Hillsides Real Estate with another edition of Real Estate Reality. Thanks for joining us. We're going to hit that 10-minute mark, aren't we, Darren? Somehow we'll do it. But there's a lot to talk about here today. And I know you could go on for hours. Maybe I could go on for an hour about risk versus opportunity and what's going on today, how it might impact us and our clients uh, later on in terms of real estate and other things. So, do you want to open that up a little bit?
Sure, man. I know we're going to start off with some fundamentals, look at interest rates,
Okay.
see how kind of the market's being viewed, um,
Yep.
and talk about all the components on some level of what's affecting the market and where you lie in that picture of are you ready to take a
Right.
step forward, sit and watch, take a step back? I don't know. I don't think there's a right or
Right.
wrong answer in this scenario, but you have to decide
No.
what's the right answer for you.
And you're exactly right. Right. This is about everyone's personal economy and what they've got going on. So it is an individual conversation. So yes, we will be painting some broad strokes here. All right. Well, look, let me go ahead and present a couple tabs on my computer here. Let's start with the mortgage rates. So here we are from Mortgage News Daily. 6.63% 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed 6.05, 30-year jumbo 6.8, 7.6 ARM 6.10%, 30-year FHA 6.07, 30-year VA 6.09%. Now, what I was reading, Darren, is these are great rates, the lowest they've been since I think October, 5 months, something like
Yeah,
that. Um,
yeah.
so good news on interest rates, maybe mortgage
Right.
rates.
And what's pulled the rates down? I mean, it's a very interesting thing. A little bit of weakness in the economy, right? And
Mhm.
there's there's clearly more things happening that are making it more weak in the present moment,
Right.
including today's big stock sell-off because of tariffs. Um, but they're down. Are they down low enough? Are they going to go down more? I don't know. There's a concern
Right.
of inflation rising, concern of a lesser economy making them go down. Those are the two variables to watch most closely to see where they're going
Right.
to go. But they are almost, at least half a point, if not three-quarters of a point better than they've been in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were talking about what is happening for the future of mortgage rates. We do have here, let me share it. Let's see. Um, CME Fed Watch. So, uh, far more complicated on the methodology here than I can explain. But I do know it's based on futures. And
Sure.
May 7th is the meeting date for the Fed coming up. And so, based on futures, they are trying to predict here, uh, will it be 400 to 425 basis points? So, the Fed uh, rate lowering or easing, as they say, or will it just stay the same?
Right.
425 to 450 basis points. So right now, it's 68.8% are saying it will not change, and 31% saying it might ease. Um, so that's about all we have for the future. We'll see.
Right. I think consistently we can all agree, and I don't
Mm,
understand how you could see it any differently. We are in extremely volatile times.
yeah.
It's just things are up, things are down, things are left, things are right, things are changing
Right.
every day in
Hmm.
dramatic fashion. Literally, there's no exaggeration there whatsoever. Um, and things could change dramatically in a month before they meet. They will. I wouldn't even say they could. They will
Right.
change dramatically.
Right.
When you negotiate on the world stage from here, I'm going to punish you. Maybe I won't if you're nice to me.
Mm,
Who knows what's going to happen.
yeah.
Um, So interesting times. Yes, I think
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is there was an expected future rate cuts this year, and now there's a
Mm,
big question whether there will be.
right. Right. So the other thing I wanted to show everyone is CNN. CNN has a fear and greed index. So let's take a look at that. It
Love
will.
that when you pull that up, Joe. It's just the title of it is great.
Well, I think we can all predict what this is going to say. So it does show here extreme fear is driving the US market. And you can see the nice big graph there,
Right.
pretty
Right.
graphic. And yeah, 1 year ago, we were in greed mode. A month ago, extreme fear. 1 week ago, fear. And then previous close was extreme fear. So pretty consistent there.
Yeah,
And you
it's
can,
fearful when things are not predictable.
yeah, yep,
It's
yep.
that simple.
So, uh, with this in mind, I'm going to stop that. So for a buyer right now, again, we talked about risk versus opportunity. And for a seller, how would you like to frame this? Again, in general, with some possibilities of who they might be. How would you
Right.
talk to them?
Well, what's always hard there is you might be waiting for small things to shift or small movements might become a tipping point on an action
Right.
to do
Right.
something. I hear a lot of conversations about people considering moving on, moving to another place, trying to downsize, leaving the
Mm,
country. Um, but they're trying to time it. You know,
mm,
you were talking a moment ago about stocks and, what's your time horizon in your window and how can that play out? Um,
right.
Trying to time the market's very difficult. Um, it's again either the right time or not, and if it's right for you, you might not quite catch that lightning in a bottle, but if it's right, then just do it if it feels right to move on. Um, Always, every time, there are definitely a lot more buyers out there trying to test sellers on how low they can get them to
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
And it's really important to have a good agent who just understands that, is not going to be offended by that, but it's going to navigate you in the right
Yeah.
direction, but also be realistic, you know?
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? So for buyers right now, at least from where we stand, we're definitely seeing a tougher market, a slower market for sellers. Maybe not as many buyers out there, but we're also, at least from what I've been reading, we're seeing more inventory is coming up. So
Yes.
yeah, is this an opportunity? It might be. But you've got to look at right your long-term goals, what's your job like? What kind of cash do you have here? And as you just said, talk to a real estate agent who really wants to get you across the finish line
Right.
completely.
And,
Not
and
just
for
for the immediate,
buyers,
but for the future.
yeah, you should test it as a buyer. Why not? Unless there's a
Hmm.
bunch of other people lined up, that's always where maybe you can't, or at least maybe you won't get what you want if you choose to test
Right. And for sellers, what would you tell sellers right now? I mean, a lot of, I feel, selling decisions are based on life situation right now. Um, but what would you tell sellers about the market
I
at
think
this
your
point?
characterization of that is very true right now. People aren't just
Mm,
making off the cuff decisions to sell property. It's not the most common reason why, anyways, but even more now. Um, and what do you tell them? Gosh, man, it's the same. It's more often than not the same message.
right.
Prep the property well. Don't give
Yeah.
buyers a reason to say there's something wrong. They're either not going to show up, not going
Yeah.
to make an offer, or try to negotiate during the escrow process.
Yeah.
And do not overprice.
Yeah.
You will chase the
Yeah.
market on an overprice. You're going to lose energy quickly if you
Yeah.
overprice.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow that doesn't change, does it? You're right.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Well, look, man, we are at 9:50. So I don't know if we can tell our final story here, but we do have a client story. And it's not normal for us to toot our own horns, but gosh darn it, we're going to do it now. Darren, you want to lay it out?
Sure. And we're going to get this done in 1 minute. You know,
Yeah, man.
it was a journey. We took a listing. We found out once we took it that there was something built on site that didn't even have its final, didn't have its certificate of occupancy. And we have a
Right.
very good understanding of how to get to the finish line on these things, but have we gone through it before? No. We've rallied everyone in the process. The owners, the past service people, contractors, and we even got the city to participate and cooperate, all in a positive environment. And here's the tooting of the own horn,
Mhm.
because we really wanted to get this to the finish line. And we didn't want to sorry, we didn't want to be mean to anybody or yell at anybody. We just wanted to like inspire people to get
Yeah.
there with a clear vision of wanting to get to the end result for the client. And God, considering the environment we're in right now in this world, it was a good experience. It really was,
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
people come together to get a result. And we may
Yeah.
have been helping guide it, but everyone
Yep.
participated to get it there.
Yep. Total team effort. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But on the leadership side, like you're saying, we really had to drive it home. And congrats to you and me on getting that done. So,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right,
Good job.
guys. So that's us tooting our own horn. Toot your own horn when you do great stuff. That's my advice, because nobody will recognize it most of the time. So anyway, have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll see you real soon. Thanks for hearing us. All right. Take care.